Alright, today we're on the Gogoal 26 by 4 inch fat tire e-bike. This is a 48 volt system and it has a 750 watt Bafang motor with 80 newton meters of torque. It's got a 15 amp hour battery, pretty low for this type of bike. I've been waiting to make a video about it because I thought the price was a little too high. They just recently lowered the price. Right now it's listed for $13.99 on their website. It was $16.99 when I first got the bike, so alright, here it is. This is the Gogoal Panther F2. It is a 26 by 4 inch fat tire e-bike. Now down the frame we have Gogoal, and it's like a holographic font, so it kind of changes colors. It's hard to see on camera, and it's not sunny right now, so it's definitely not going to be easy to see. But it's like a, kind of looks like metal in a way, but it's silver and purple and all kinds of cool colors. And this is just the company name, Gogoal. And then here's the model. If it picks up on camera, it says Panther F2. And these are subtle, so I don't mind that too much. You can barely even see them, but they do have a lot of stuff, a lot of text on the bike itself. Here's some text down here. It says Mountain Panther Gogoal, and then it's got the website up here, and then it's got Gogoal up here on the forks. But here's the 26 inch fat tires. They are Kenda tires. They got the little holes throughout the rim, and I really like the way that looks. I think it gives it a different look. Now it has 160 millimeter rotors. It has Tetro Aries brakes, so decent name brand brakes. Pretty small rotors, but all you'll need for a bike that only hits 28 miles an hour. The battery is integrated into the down tube right here, and you just take your key, unlock it, and there's a little lever down here. You pull that and the battery will pop out. So if you pull this lever, make sure you have your hand underneath it, and the lever's just right up here, and you twist it like that. Now most of the wiring is integrated into the frame. I really like the way companies are doing that now. It makes it look a lot nicer instead of running it underneath, and it's safer for the bike. It's a little bit harder to do maintenance on it when it's not exposed, but there's trade-offs either way you go. There's absolutely no wire management on this bike whatsoever, for the handlebar area at least. So if you get this bike and it doesn't have anything, I'm gonna suggest to them to improve this part of the bike. That's a little messy, but you can fix that yourself. Actually, I personally myself like it like this, because then I can do what I want to it. But not everybody's gonna want to do that. So if you see this Gogoal, I would suggest adding some of those wire wraps around here, just at least one right here to hold all of these together so they're not flopping around. That's kind of annoying when you're riding though. Now as you see, it does have an integrated headlight here. The funny thing about the headlight is, first we're gonna come up here, turn on the bike by hitting the power. Then we're gonna hit, once it loads, then we're gonna hit the plus sign, and that turns the display light on, and it's supposed to activate the headlight. As you can see down here, we have no power to the headlight. Well, that's because this headlight actually has a switch on the back. So when you install this, there's two cables dangling from this wire, and you just plug two ends into the bottom of it. It's really simple. But this has a switch on it, and to turn it on, you just flip that switch, and now we have light. Now when you turn off the headlight option up here on the control panel. Turn that off. Your headlight still lights up. If you turn the bike off, it goes off. So you have full control over your headlight, which is pretty nifty. Not a bad feature. And when you power on the bike, your headlight will automatically come on. And then you can turn it off if you want. We might actually leave ours on today because it's getting to be kind of dark out. It does have front suspension with a lockout, and it does have a preload adjustment on this side. Pretty nice. And if you stand over it here, you can really see how unique the frame looks. Kind of looks like a stealth bomber. I don't know why they didn't call it a stealth bomber or something to that effect, but that's a pretty common name for e-bikes, so I could see why not. But that's the frame. It looks pretty cool. It's very unique. I've never seen a bike that looks like this on the market as far as an e-bike goes. Really unique. I like the lines. It's got a really cool like lines down through here. The body lines are really nice. It might be hard to pick that up on camera, but it's kind of sunken in here where the logo is, and then it's all flat everywhere else pretty much. And then these corners up here are rounded, and it's just got a really cool sheen to it. It looks really nice, and I like it. It doesn't have anything special down here in the crankset area with the gearing. It's pretty standard. You got your 20 derailleur, pretty decent. You got another logo here that says Panther Mountain, and you got your standard logo aluminum pedals. Just a single, no double walled sprocket in the front. Here are the 26 by 4 inch fat tires in the back. Some people really like this look. No fender, no rack. So if you're already going to just remove your rack and fenders anyways, this might be the right bike for you because they don't come with them. I personally like them with fenders and with a rear rack, but everybody's different, and I have different needs than most people. I have to carry around camera equipment. Today we came light. I only brought 3 cameras with me today. Up here on the dash, we have a standard black and white LCD display. So here we are. It lights up when you hit the headlight button. We just went through that. You change your PAS levels by going through here. You got 0 through 5. 0 kills the throttle. Of course, 5 is going to be your fastest. And then you have a trip. You have an elapsed time. And you have how many watts of power you're using. So total amount of miles on the odometer is 8.6. It did come with 0, so I have ridden it a few times, just testing it out and getting some, taking some notes for the video. It does have these pretty uncomfortable grips, but they're more like a mountain bike style. I would say if you wore gloves with your bike, then you could probably stand these grips. Now on their website it states that it comes with hydraulic brakes. Well, if that's the case, mine did not. I have standard regular mechanical brakes. I love hydraulic brakes. It'd be great if they came with them. Their website says it does. I did not get them. So Gogoal, another thing for you to take a look at. You might want to change your website if you're shipping your bikes like this. Otherwise, send me a set of hydraulic brakes so I can put them on. And then it does have end caps over here, so you can pop those off and just install them here. And if you sell it for any reason, you can put the end caps back on. You don't have to make any cuts. I like that. Now over here, this is your gearing and throttle. I really like this type of system with the gears underneath. I find that it's a little bit easier to shift through because you can go one by one instead of having to push and judging where you're at while you're riding. Most of the SIS indexes, you have to kind of just pay attention. Here you can count and figure out where you're at. And to me, I find this a little bit more comfortable. Now, one thing I don't like is when they put a thumb throttle right next to these. While you're going, you could accidentally hit this throttle or hit this, or you know, it's hard to engage the gears when there's something in your way. So maybe move this to the other side and just have it be a left-handed throttle, it might make this a little bit easier, and you could pull these closer to you. Now you guys can do that on your own. You'd have to pull this off, slide these, and move this over to there, as long as there's enough cable. I may do that on this one just because I think it's going to be a little bit more comfortable for my thumb throttle to be on the left side in this circumstance. There's a couple things that I absolutely do not like that I think if you buy this bike you should upgrade. It should be one of your first upgrades. Number one, the stem. I do like my stance when I ride this bike, but it is not comfortable. You're basically leaning and putting all your weight into the handlebar grips. So as you're riding, you're pushing down like this because that's just the way the gravity falls, and it's not super comfortable for a long ride. You better get you some gloves or change out this stem. Changing out the stem would probably greatly improve the rideability of this bike, but at $13.99 you're not going to get anything super special. At $16.99 you might not either at its regular price. But this is really super easy to change. All you got to do is undo these two bolts right here, take the top cap off, take your handlebars off, slide this one off and slide a new one on, and do the rest. And then you can get one that's adjustable to move it up and down and raise the handlebars up. I think that would improve the rideability a whole lot more than it is right now. Number two, this is always something that I complain about, and usually my number one suggestion for you to replace, but this has got to be the worst seat that I've ever had on a bike. I think it's super uncomfortable. Now, seats are a preference thing, so not everybody's gonna like the same thing, but this is a Sealy Royale, and this one is the Freaka, I don't even know. You can see it right there, but hardly any padding at all, super hard, and yeah, I can ride on it, but do I want to? Probably not. So first thing that I would do, and I almost did it for this video, would be to swap this out. And those are really the only two major complaints I have about this bike, is the seat, which is usually always the case, and the stem up here. So if you do buy this bike, that would be the very first two things that I would replace. As I mentioned, it does have a Bafang 750 watt hub motor. Which is stamped right here, 48 volt, 750 watt. Now, you don't always get this kind of information, so you usually know that it's a real Bafang motor when they're stamped like this. The tires are super beefy. You're gonna get a lot of traction whether you ride it on a mountain or off-road, or if you wanna just ride it on the street. It's pretty good for all of that, but this bike is made for off-road. That's what they designed it for. That's why there's no wreck. That's why there's no fenders. If you're mainly riding off-road, you're probably not going to want fenders, though it does help with dirt getting thrown up on you. So I guess it's just a preference thing. I like the sleek design. I like that the other logos are kind of minimal. They are dark print, so they don't show up as much. Especially from a long distance, you really can't see it, and it really just has that one logo right there. Now I just noticed something, and it's a little annoying to me, but the logo is not in line with the lines on the bike. So here's the line on the bike right here. This logo slants, and it should be lined up with this line right here if they were to do it correctly. Now I'm sure this is probably just a sticker. It might just be a paint, but yeah, they have the logo tilted off axis a little bit. Should be shifted a little bit more. As a designer, that would bother the heck out of me. It does have this little button here. It says Gogoal on it. That's pretty cool. Let's see if the other side's like that. So this logo over here is pretty close to the line almost right on. So this one, not so bad. The other one though was not applied correctly. Now if you want to charge the battery whenever it's on the bike, you can do that just by pulling this port, plugging in your charger right here, and you also can charge the battery if you pull it out of the bike. So that's nice. And the kickstand back here, it does sit far enough that you can take your pedals and spin them all the way around. I'm glad that they did that and went that route. I don't like when you have a kickstand right here, you can really mess up your crank and everything. So it's nice that they pushed it out further. And that's the Gogoal Panther F2 electric mountain Panther electric mountain bike. If you guys have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments. If there's anything else you'd like to see about this bike, comment down below and let me know. Right now it's listed at $13.99 on their website. Wonderful price. I would highly recommend purchasing one of these if you're looking out for a new electric bike. I think they got the price to the right amount now. Now I don't know how long it's going to stay at that price, but definitely this bike is worth $13.99 as of right now. If I have any coupon codes, I will list them in the description. If I have an affiliate link, I will also list that in the description. Now we've been riding in PAS1 this whole time, just because I want to do a PAS test. So at PAS1 we're running right around 13 miles an hour. On pedal assist 2 we're right around 16 miles an hour. Looks like PAS3 is right around 20 miles per hour. PAS4 at about 23 miles per hour when the motor kicked out. And then we'll see if we can get PAS5. We might be able to. I think we could get it up higher. Ooh. Feels like I still had a little bit of power left. Now that's not easy by any means. On their website it said reach speeds up to 28 miles per hour by pedaling. I mentioned that the throttle could only get 20 miles per hour. Alright, the wind's picking up. Looks like a storm's coming. But guess what? We're still going to try to film. If I have to turn around, I'll turn around. Down here is the place where we're gonna try to get the PAS 5 completion. I think the bike had enough left in it to get to 28. Alright, we're gonna try 28 miles an hour like the top speed says it can do. Alright, it's safe to say that it can probably hit 28 miles per hour on flat ground. It's going to take a little bit of work to get there, and somebody that's in better shape than I am probably could get there faster. Alright, we're back here again. We did a complete circle. Now let's see what the throttle can do. Looks like about 26 miles per hour throttle only. But the other quirk for this bike is because you are so close to the front wheel, because you're leaning over and you don't have an adjustable stem, it's a little twitchy. So you definitely feel the difference just by the way you steer. It kind of pushes you. It's a little harder to keep control of. So I think adding an adjustable stem and raising your handlebars up for that would also be good. So with that said, at $13.99, I think it's a great buy. If you're in the market for a bike like this, or maybe you're looking at a similar bike that's a little bit more expensive, I don't think you could go wrong with this. If you want to go at speeds around 22 to 26 miles an hour most of the time, then you'd probably be pretty good with this. But as you can see, I'm getting ready to hit a rainstorm here. It's going crazy. There's leaves blowing everywhere. So it's time for Randy to head home. Hope you like this video. Please comment down below and let me know what you think. If you haven't liked the video yet, go down there, hit that like button, and please subscribe. It really helps out the channel and helps me continue to do what I love. Have a good day. Also, if you didn't see my community post, I'm going to be giving away one of these helmets. Now, it's not going to be the white one. The white one, of course, is mine. It's got my logo on it. But I have 3 other colors that I'm giving away in my Facebook group. So go to the URL that's on the screen right now. It's just group.randyrides.com, and make sure you go and comment on my helmet giveaway post. I will be giving away a helmet there. I will be picking a winner on the person that comments, so link will be in the description.